Alright guys, quick update. We're now at Memorial Day. The last videos that I recorded were from, I think they were from December, if I remember correctly. So the grass is no longer dormant and it's green and it looks good, believe it or not. Might be able to see some of those seeds I mowed last Friday. And now all these little seeds, because I've been treating the lawn, so all of it's been getting real dense. Anyway, so you can see I took a layer off the top row. I think it gave it a cleaner look, being a little bit shorter. I'm going to leave this section right here the same, but I'm also going to, in this back here, I'm going to take off this top row of brick. And as you can see, it's on the AC now. So I'm essentially going to have a like a little garden bed, I guess, kind of thing right here. I'm going to find some shady shrubs or something. Coming back here, so I got to clean that wire up. Killed all the grass. Laid down a bunch of stuff. You can still see here I haven't rented the saw yet. I kind of had a lot happen between now and the last 6 months. What's been going on? So just been behind quite a bit. And transplanted this little tree right here. This, in the last video, all of this right here was pine. So I cleaned that up. I ripped out a bunch of plants here. This is a temporary gutter situation. It's so ugly. I moved this boxwood to the front. Just planted this weeping maple over the weekend, Memorial Day. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna end up doing is probably getting some sort of drain system, maybe a French drain, so that the water goes down into the pipe, and then it under the ground. I'll have to unfortunately wreck my yard one more time, and then it will spit out somewhere over here, closer towards the street. I think with both those, I'll probably try and tie that in somehow together. So now the purpose of this video today is I'm doing this tree now. I'll probably make another video on how I ran the electrical, which I just did that last weekend. This is just like a little temporary thing here, so I know where my wire's at. But I essentially, I did this method where I took a ENT conduit pipe or something like that, and I dug out my trench on this side because I was gonna have to dig because of my brick anyway. And so I dug that out. It had like a 10-foot piece of pipe to clear the sidewalk. Sidewalk's like 4 or 5 feet. I forget what it is. Ran it through this way, and then exposed it over here. This was a hole like 1.5 feet deep. Exposed it over here, and then I just took a Sawzall and cut the pipe open, and then ran it through. So, and then I sealed the pipe off so it wouldn't backfill with dirt and mud and anything like that. I don't think it would erode the wire, but it wouldn't help. So now here I am now doing my bricks, and this is essentially how they all started off. I should have recorded a video much sooner, but so what I do is I dig into the ground for that very first layer. That's what's really time consuming because I want to make sure it's all quality. So I get out my level and everything, and what I'll end up doing is much like a retaining wall is, right? So you'll stagger them, but then I don't have to dig in right here as much. I can start, my next row, I'll probably start to dig this one out. I'll have to just dig out a little bit of earth, so it's less work, right? And then that's money I'm saving because I'm not running an entire row all the way around. It's the same thing. Look at this side. You can see kind of like the end product here. This isn't leveled yet, but this is a much better representation. Right, so you can see this one's in the ground right here. And then I just added earth instead of having to remove it, so it just ends up being less work. These are gonna get dug in, and I keep these on the flat side. Pro tip. All right, so you can see this is textured and this is flat. For your first row, put the textured side down, flip it upside down. That way, when you throw your level on it, you're not dealing with all these. Some of them are really bad. You can kind of see how wavy the top of them are. Actually, that's kind of a good one. Here's one, a little rougher around the edges. This one's got a lot of texture and contour on the top right there. There's a big divot. right? So when you're going to level everything out, which is important, you want to make sure that you have that as best as you can. So with my first row, another thing I kind of just thought, I guess, for drainage, because these things will fill up. On my first row, I leave a bigger gap, right? My second row is a little bigger gap. I'll backfill some of this, but it leaves an area for the water to drain out so it doesn't drown my tree. You know, sometimes we get some really bad rain, a lot at once. And sometimes because the soil has no nutrients, it will put too much stress on the tree and kill it. I've had that happen with all those emeralds back there. But all right, so I hope you keep recording the progress, and we should have this electrical and all these trees in the back illuminated pretty soon. So super excited. Keep it posted.